Right, so we're back here with Junior Leclerc, and just before the break, we were talking about Phil and about this event. And Junior, you were sharing with us a text and kind of getting us an update of what happened. So continue and do the best you can.
Yeah, he stated that he's doing okay, and he should be good by fall. It is going to be a challenge. He's not singing right now, and thank you so much for reaching out. And it was 2 days later.
To Sean's point, though, and we said this earlier, Junior, folks that the new Phil, love Phil, will just so much appreciate your event. Folks that didn't know him that well, and I didn't know him that well, to be honest. I've been following some stuff on YouTube in preparation for our talk. And I was watching a lot of the Unplugged stuff with him and John, so the Phil and John show.
A lot.
God, what a voice. I just like the stuff that he covers is like male vocalists would ever want to attempt that stuff in their wildest dreams. And he was nailing it, just nailing it.
I remember we kind of joked about some of the stuff. So as an example, right here, there's one of that's one of
shit. No, we can't see that. So what is it now?
Well, that's why these are on.
Okay.
This is just one CD of Phil that he released. And you guys know, especially being musicians. So what kind of range do you have to do when you're singing? Well, here's what's on here. Call Me the Breeze. Okay. The Night Before. And I love her. These are, of course, Lennon and McCartney. She's a Woman. Can't Buy Me Love. Main Street even done a C.G.A song. I saw her standing there. What You're Doing, Something, and Let It Roll. These are just quickly of one example of his abilities. This is why geez, how can you when you it's not even about fame or whatever. That's the one thing I will say, and why probably that he was this really great guy. Look at, I said you guys before, damn the friggin' egotistical people. It's about the music.
Yeah. And
that man singing could sing anything. Anything.
It's interesting. Good. Music's it's a great business, but it's also a miserable business at the same time, because you know what I mean, right? So you can see a guy like Phil who, probably should have been a superstar, and you go, and then you see somebody else that kind of should have been, slinging beer at the rock pile, not to be, and you're going like, how are they selling a million records? And there's no rhyme or reason. Now in today's world, it's marketing, it's all that stuff, but back in the day, it was a slog, and it was breaks, and it was networking, and who saw. I mean, the story of Daniel that Bonham saw him playing in a bar and gets a gig. Now he was a great singer, but you don't hear that many stories like that anymore. It's few and far between.
Yes, yeah, and that's so within that, guys. It's been an endless, sort of endless, reaching out from all kinds of people. It's I want to keep this brief. Pardon me, guys. It's unfortunate when things go on that sometimes, and it's very minuscule of the people that still will attach themselves to an event like this that maybe shouldn't be attached to it.
Yep.
It's the price we pay for. As an example, just for the sake of conversation, Sean and or Dave, if you guys decide to go out, let's say, be human, and let's say get smashed, or you guys call it smashed right down there, or drunk, well, there's going to be 10 people say, well, I got all smashed with Sean or Dave from Barstools and Band. So there's an attachment there. Within the musician side of things, the list is crazy for those that are trying to attach, is the best way I can put it. And I'm not going to mention, of course, any names, but I will say, especially when somebody's passed, it's a damn shame that people will do that. So,
well, there's that fine line. We talked about that earlier. There's some folks that are going to want to exploit that. But
Yes.
I truly believe what you're trying to do, and I know your heart, brother. I know your heart. You're just trying to give honor and homage to a man that meant so much to you. And maybe an honorary Canadian, but it's written all over your face, Junior. We know that you love the guy. You know what I mean? Like it's such a great tribute that you're doing, and you're the only guy in Canada who could have pulled that off, in my opinion.
That's kind of you to say. But let's remember mostly the fans. I mean, holy crap, guys. On the Talus page, I'm not sure if you guys, because there's so many, but I've had a look on the Talus page of this going on. That's what it's for. So that's why it was when I was actually, Jim Crean called me last night. We were having a bit of a conversated laugh about whatever. Like I say, he lives in Rochester as well. About all this going on and whatnot, and it's incredible that the amount of people he's getting phone calls from people that even he hasn't jammed with or played with in a while, going, we heard about this tribute going on. Can you tell me more about it? And he's trying to be somewhat brief. He's kind of this guy's a rock star. He's going like, well, I hope I didn't catch you at a bad time. He's apologizing to me about this, and we're talking and in regards to all this. So overall, it's when I say the snowball effect, here's an example. One of the pages there, guys, and you guys will know this, it's into now, was it 420 shares alone.
Mm-hmm. That's huge.
That we're not talking about whatever. So we're talking the UK, we're talking California, we're talking and so on. So anyway, with Jim Crean, before I forget this, he was once again, he goes, we are so thankful. Thank you so much for hosting this and whatnot. So my answer to all these people that have joined into this is just this. If there was ever a musician that I would say that I've been associated with in all of this, in this case, bottom line is they're going to remember Phil Naro if I have anything to do with it.
Well, that's a good point, because here's the thing, right? For people that are going, okay, I kind of heard of the name. I mean, so just by virtue of Billy Sheen alone, he's in the same league as Jeff Scott Soto, as Eric Martin from Mr. Big, David Lee Roth, because Billy Sheen played with him. He appeared on one of Peter Criss's solo album from Kiss, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I would encourage people to go and Google Phil Naro if you don't know, because you're going to be blown away how this guy wasn't an absolute superstar. Right.
Just because you brought his name up, I can't do it on air, but unless you guys, whatever. No, it'll have to be an off air thing. Anyway, one of these guys, because I won't put them on the spot, but I will say it was a Peter Criss story, and it is funny stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just say he's the cat, maybe for a reason. It wasn't anything totally disrespectful or anything, but it was just one of those funny stories. Yeah.
Well, we'll do an off air on that one, because I got to hear that. He's a guy who grew up idolizing Kiss, and I was actually more of an Eric Carr fan than a Peter Criss fan, but I gotta hear this now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you got about a minute and a half before you get a chance to hear that. So
all right, so here's what we want to do just before we go to the next segment. So just quickly in the minute and a half, what can people expect? One time does it start? What can they, without letting the cat out of the bag, like I like to say, what can they expect?
Yeah, we do have time slots for which we're not going to give out other than the start. It's going to be a long day, guys. I'm going 3 p.m. Till 10 o'clock.
Nice.
So it is going to be long. So what they can expect in regards to this is, quite frankly, the stars that are on. I will remind your listeners, though, guys, that the only change right now is that Ron Rumblefoot is on the Saturday, June the 5th at 4 p.m. with me on my live feed. If we can link that up, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So on the Sunday, we're starting off at 3 p.m. and going through with all that. We're just waiting, like I say, it's either going to be a video thing with Billy Sheen, or at least a message with regards to, and that's it's like as you guys seen, I have an associate producer now as well. He said it was like this: if Billy can't make it, it's like the Grammys. Well, they couldn't make it for the awards. So, but he continue. I said, you guys, it was you, Sean, and I think Alex. That the last couple of days, we're trying to jive the time. But yeah,
understood. All right, we'll be back for our final segment after this.